Passengers cannot board the flight today, you have to board the flight tomorrow. It's a surprise for me. So I went to and checked why it is. They say the flight is overbooked. What do you mean by flight overbook? The agents always book more number of tickets than the available number of seats in any aircraft, expecting some cancellations to happen. But in some days like this, the entire crowd comes up. And the last 10 passengers, they will ask them to actually travel the next flight. So I was unfortunately last 10, so they asked me to travel the next day. I was really frustrated because I had a very, very critical meeting next day. So I went to them, shouted, created all the mess I could, said Lufthansa is such a bad airline, I never want to travel anymore. And whenever you're upset, what do? You also gather a group of people, no, who are exactly upset like you. Correct, no? And crib about it. So all these were happening. Looking at my behavior, the flight manager of Lufthansa came towards me and said, "Sir, is there any problem?" I said, "Yes, man, I'm disappointed. I will not travel to Lufthansa anymore." He said, "Don't worry, sir. I'm going to give you 2 offers." I said, "Okay. What is the first offer?" He said, "You can travel today, sir. No problem. We'll ask somebody else to travel tomorrow. No problem." I was more interested in what is the next offer, man. What is the second offer? He said, "Sir, if you take the second offer, which means if you travel tomorrow, we are going to give you 35,000 rupees cash in hand." 10 years back, 35,000 rupees cash in hand. Okay, listen. Then we are going to make you stay at Leela Palace, which is a 7-star hotel, because you can't travel to your home and come back. So we are going to arrange a stay for you at Leela Palace, which is a 7-star hotel. And most importantly, we have arranged a chauffeur-driven BMW car to pick you from the airport, drop you at Leela Palace. The car will stay the entire night. Next day, it will pick you back from Leela Palace and drop you back to the airport. I looked at them very clearly and said, "When are we going to Leela Palace?" Is that not an irresistible offer given by Lufthansa? I tell this to all my workshops. Right? I've almost become an ambassador for them.
But then in a sense, it's very different from the Flipkart and Chutney Chan offer.
Yeah, it is different.
Because Flipkart was offering very little in terms of the irresistible offer.
Yes, absolutely. The industry is different, isn't it? But was it tempting you to at least go into it? Yeah.
Actually, we wish for it. We travel to US or Hong Kong, so we wait for Cathay Pacific to get overbooked.
Okay, see.
So we'll get the hotels.
Absolutely. So friends, do you think having an irresistible offer is important? Irresistible offer is important to attract more customers. Irresistible offers is not about giving more money, but giving more value to customers. So what I'm telling you is, irresistible offers will give you at least 3 to 4 new customers if you're able to implement it within the next 1 year. Your revenue base will grow from 10 to 12%. Do you think irresistible offer is important? Yeah. What I wanted you to do for the next 5 seconds is, I want to think about what is that one irresistible offer you will be able to give your customers. Let's take 5 seconds. And then I close my presentation. Okay, so this was what was my key message in this presentation? What was my key message?
Attract customers.
Yeah, using what?
A technique to get more customers.
Irresistible offers. Was that my message? The technique called irresistible offers. Is it understood properly?
Yes.
Will you be able to forget this message for some time?
No.
Chutney Chang, next time when you have an offer, Flipkart comes with another offer, will you be able to forget? Or when you cross Lufthansa Airlines or Leela Palace? Yeah? What's the move? Will you forget? Sometime. Which means I've actually followed a very important structure to impart this message deep into you. I've actually followed an algorithm. Okay. What is that algorithm? What is that structure? And that is the structure which I will also request you to use in your 5-minute presentations as far as possible. Okay. Let's decode the structure. Tell. Please make a note of it. This is going to be the heart of the program today. Open, body, close. how did I open the presentation? Did I use tell? Yes, no? I used tell approach? Yeah. How did I open the presentation? How did I open?
You ask
How does it
questions.
benefit them?
Huh?
You started
You ask-
engagement with the question. Do you want this?
Yeah, I started the engagement. Sure. Engagement will be throughout the presentation, right? In terms of asking question. But I followed a very important structure.
If you say what I do, then you will get in this much. If you follow what I'm going to say,
Yeah.
you will get more customers.
Beautiful. You also said the same
Also
thing.
how it will benefit them and with some past examples.
Superb. Can we round of applause for both of them? Absolutely. The first important step in the opening, we're talking about opening, is something called give benefits to the audience. Give benefits to the audience. This is called as WIIFT. Give benefits to the audience. What do you mean by I'll tell you. See friends, anybody who's attending a presentation is not bothered whether you are a great presenter or not. Correct, no? Everybody is bothered about only one thing. What?
What's in it for them?
What's in it for me? Everybody is bothered about what will I get from the presentation. So once you actually open with what they will get from the presentation, the whole engagement is going to be high in the presentation. Which means the first important element should be giving benefits to the audience. What is it called? WIIFT?
What's in it for them?
Beautiful. As a presenter, you have to definitely tell what is in it for them, what they will get out of the whole presentation. Very key step. Give benefits to the audience. Okay, after that, what is the second step I did? What is the second step I did? I gave the benefits, yes, then?
That's the context.
Like wow, what did I say?
Story. No, you told them that you will share the technique. You will share that.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about a technique called irresistible offers, by understanding which you will be able to attract more customers. Is that right? Which means another second most important element of the opening is something called overview of the key message. And what is my key message? Irresistible offers. I'm going to talk about something called irresistible offers, by understanding which you'll be able to attract more and more customers. Are you with me? Surito.
Yeah.
There's another third element I use in the opening. What is that? Another third element I use in the opening.
Create suspense towards a surprise element.
No. I said, I've done this to many companies, correct? And they have implemented, and they've seen an increase in number of customers as well as increase in the revenue scale. What do you mean by that statement?
Trustability.
Credibility, absolutely. The third important aspect of any great presentation opening is build credibility. Build credibility. Did I build credibility today morning with you? Like how? How did I build myself credibility?
98th presentation.
98
Listed
presentations.
companies.
Then
Listed companies.
listed companies, technical, I'm also on technical side. Is that right? By the way, all these are truth, okay? So credibility should be truth. But it is important to be said. Why? Only then people will understand that there's something coming in the presentation. You can have a question. Rajni, I am new to this product. How do I really build credibility? Credibility can be built two ways, either with you or with the product. Okay. I have 3 patents in my name. I'm researching on a performance improvement topic. This technique which I'm going to talk about will improve the performance by 5x. This is the patent which I have filed. I'm building credibility. Okay. I'm going to talk about a very important product. This is called as natural algorithm product or natural language product. Using this product, which talks about a natural language bot, your coding effort will get reduced by 40%. This is implemented right now in California, and we see a huge improvement in productivity. Or what I'm doing now? I'm building credibility for the product. So either build credibility for the product or for yourself. Okay, that's the open. Now in the body, tell body. What did I use? This was the opening. After that?
You told the story by giving the example.
How many examples did you use?
3.
3. 3 is a very, very powerful number. It's a radical number to drive a message deep into somebody else's mind. Okay? It can be either 3 examples, it can be stories, or it can be facts. 3. 3 is a very, very important number to drive an example deep into somebody else's mind. What was my first example? Chutney Chang. What was the message Chutney Chang was driving in? Irresistible offers. Which means I have chosen an example because I know there will be married people in the room. Newly married?
Yeah, 1.5 years.
1.5 years. So you don't qualify to be newly married. We may have married people in the room. Married people with children will connect to a Chutney Chang example, and the Chutney Chang example was driving towards which message? Irresistible offers, right? See the second example. I know at this time Flipkart example will make more sense, correct? No, Walmart, Flipkart, right? Will make more sense, and techies like us will definitely connect to a retail example, and that's why exactly why I gave a Flipkart example. And Flipkart example was driving towards which message?
Irresistible.
Again, irresistible offer. So people who miss the first message will definitely get the second message. Are you with me? And I know that all the audiences, corporate people would have actually traveled or will be traveling. So a flight example will be a great correct. And the Lufthansa example was driving towards which message? Again, irresistible offers. 3 examples, everything driving towards same message. How will you miss the message? Are you with me? 3 is a very radical, important number to drive a message deep into anybody else's mind. Are you with me? How did I close? How did I close? I closed, right? How did I close?
You asked the
You asked
people
us
to
to
think
imagine.
about.
Yeah, I'm coming to that. Just give me some. That's a very important point. That's a final point. Before that, how did I close? Do you remember?
Money is not the only one which drives the irresistibility,
Huh?
right?
Money is not the only thing which drives the irresistible offer.
Yeah.
And do you think irresistible offers are important for you? Is that right? All I did was reiterated the key message again. Tell what you have already told. You remember that?
Summarizing.
Yes, that's called reiteration, the entire message. So I reiterated the key message. So reiterate again the key message in the presentation. Why it is important? Because why is reiteration important?
You'll remember for last.
People remember what is told last, right? After that I did one more thing. What did I do? I again reiterated something. What else? They reiterate. I again told that by implementing this, friends, be sure you will have increase of customers by 3, you will increase your revenue by 10%. So what I was doing again? What is that called?
What's in
Carry.
Benefits, right? That's why we opened. The same benefit you have to again reiterate, which means the second important element, something called reiterate the benefits. Reiterate the key point and the benefits again. This presentation. You're making a note, right?
Yes.
The last important aspect. How did I close?
You asked them to think about the
I
rest.
said, I'm going to give you 5 seconds. Think about how are you going to give an irresistible offer to your customer. Is that right? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
They see the benefits right away. Something can they correlate with the message?
You're very close. Many times we attend a presentation, but after we go back from the presentation, we don't have any clue what to do from the presentation. Have you faced that? Presentation is good engagement, but I do not know what I should do from the presentation. So the last important element is something called, very, very critical element called as call to action. What is call to action? You are telling the audience what you should do after the presentation is over. download this demo link, implement it, give me a feedback. Are you with me? I'm going to send you this Excel sheet. I want each one of you to put at least 2 points how you're going to take it forward and then send it back to me. There's a call to action, what you're expecting them to do after the presentation is over. So this is called as the tell. Am I clear?
Yes.
Am I fast? How many of you are thinking this way? Rajni, opening looks good, easy. Close is much easier because anyway we are reinforcing the close. Body, 3 examples. Looks to be a little difficult, yeah, for every message. How many of you think that way? Okay. I'm going to give you a beautiful framework. It's a 2x2 matrix. By understanding this framework, you will get at least 3 examples for any of the message. Okay? What the framework is, I'm going to discuss about it. Just hold on. But before that, I just want to quickly summarize. Open, get attention, establish credibility, give benefit to the audience, overview of the key message. Close, summarize key messages, reiterate the benefits, have a call to action. What I'm doing now, again, for you, absolutely. Right? Because I don't want this message to be lost. Body. I'm going to give you one framework and we are going to learn this framework using a video case study. I'm going to show you a Steve Jobs video and make you understand this particular framework. I want you to put this quadrant and write facts, beliefs, emotions and actions. Just write that and tell you what it is. Facts, beliefs, emotions, and actions. This is how to craft examples for a message. Okay? Can I? As a presenter, take the first box. What is the first box? As a presenter, can you give an example to the audience which appeal to them factually? Okay. What do you want people to know factually? So can you give a factual example to them? What do you want me by factual example? Fact. Huh? Chutney Chan. What's a fact example for you? Fact. What do you mean by fact?
I would say universal truth kind of thing.
Truth, you can't, for example, data, is the right survey result, the previous course, right? Charts, so that you can't, it's proven by data and facts that this is the right message. Are you with me? So can you give an example where you can help people to really understand factually that your message is right? Factual example. Second box. Can you give an example where you make people believe intellectually that this is the right approach? Believe intellectually is not factual, but you're believing this is the right approach. I'll give you an example, couple of examples. Share market. How many of you invest in share market? Okay. We'll take an example of a stock. Vedanta. Vedanta is a stock. Vedanta is a stock which has been up on the top for the last 3 years, okay? It's been grown by 10-12% consistently. So I'm going to buy Vedanta share, for example, believing that in the next 1 year also this will grow by 12%. Is it factual? Will it definitely grow?
No.
Huh? No. But I'm believing. Why I'm believing?
Data.
Because of the past performance. Are you with me? So there's no still data to prove whether I will get it for sure, but I'm making people believe that it might scale up. Are you with me? Okay. Another example. iPhone 10. I know many of my friends was die-hard iPhone fan, having an iPhone 6 or 7. When the 10 was launched, even without knowing the features of iPhone 10, they believed iPhone 10 will definitely have more features than iPhone 7 and then bought it. Has it happened? So what kind of example is this? Belief. Right? I know many people pre-book cars, right? When Swift was launched, many people just booked it without even knowing a new car like Swift. Even me, we booked the number. I think first 100 people who booked the Swift without even knowing what Swift is. Well, we believe in Maruti products, and then we take it this forward. Another example I want to share is demonetization. How many of you believe demonetization is the right approach in this room for the country? So I'm going to ask you only two options. How many of you believe? How many of you don't believe? So you don't have a choice. Third choice. Huh? How many of you believe demonetization is the right approach? You believe. How many of you don't believe demonetization is the right approach? Okay, what are you both? Okay. Beautiful answer is the Chief Statistician of India, Mr. Vijay, about 1 year back, wrote a beautiful article in Economic Times. He said that we're still not sure whether demonetization is the right approach or a wrong approach. But we're just going ahead. So because we don't have enough fact to still prove that. But even without knowing that, some people have decided demonetization is the right approach. Some people have not decided demonetization is not a right approach. Some people are still on the wait mode. Whether to decide or not to decide. Are you with me? So this is called as a belief example. I'm believing already something is actually better. Third, what do you want people to feel emotionally? Can you give an emotional example where that will connect to them emotionally? What kind of example can you give? Emotional example with respect to your product. Chutney Chang example. Children's Day was connecting which one? Emotion. Are you with me? I think insurance agent uses, no? Sir, what is your income, sir? So much you're earning. What happens tomorrow if there's an accident and you're not there? What will happen to your entire family, sir? Oh my God, really? We'll ask him, no? So what is he actually targeting? An emotional example. So it says that if you can give an example factually, if you can give an example believe intellectually, if you can give an example emotionally, all these three examples will help the person to take the action which you wanted him to take the action. And you're influencing. I'm going to show you a Steve Jobs example. Steve Jobs is going to convince everybody that the MacBook Air is the best notebook in the whole world. So in this case study, he will give a lot of examples factually. He'll give a lot of examples believe intellectually. He'll give a lot of examples emotionally. And finally, he will ask everybody, without even telling them, buy MacBook. Okay? After this pre-launch, so many number of MacBooks got booked because of this particular presentation. You want to ask something?
No.
Yeah, I have one question. So depending upon the message, wouldn't this sequence change? I understand the action will be the last
It can
part.
change. It's not the exact sequence. Yeah, absolutely.
Or some steps could be missing because we may not have the fact.
Yeah, absolutely. That you will choose with respect to the audience and the message. But recommended if you have all three, use all three. Sometimes you can have two emotion examples. Right? Are you with me?
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you a video case study for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we're going to do a pairing. And each pair will discuss which examples of Steve Jobs fitted into which quadrant from your perspective. Are you with me?
Yes.
Which examples of Steve Jobs fit into which quadrants from your pair's perspective? Let's see this video case study.
There's something in there. What is it? Well, what is it? Well, as you know, Apple makes the best notebooks on the planet. The MacBook and the MacBook Pro. These are the standards in the industry by which competitive products are judged. Well, today, we're introducing a third kind of notebook. It's called the MacBook Air. Now, what is the MacBook Air? In a sentence, it's the world's thinnest notebook. So, what does that mean? Well, we went out and looked at all the thin notebooks out there. Most people think of these, the Sony TZ series. They're good notebooks, and they're thin. Right? This is what they look like. Side view there. We looked at all of them out there and kind of tried to distill the best of the breed of all of them. And, you know, they generally weigh about 3 pounds. They're, in this case, in the Sony's case, they're about 0.8 inches to 1.2 inches thin. They're wedge shaped. This is quite representative. They compromise, though, to get the weight down on things like the display. They have an 11 or 12-inch display, most of them an 11. They also compromise on the keyboard. Instead of putting full-size keyboards in, they make miniature keyboards. And they don't run them as fast as they could because their thermal envelopes don't support faster processors. So we looked at this and we said, what do we like and what do we think is a compromise here? We think the weight's a good target, 3 pounds. But we think there's too much compromising to get there. Too much compromising on thickness, too much compromising on less than a full-size display, less than a full-size keyboard, and we think you could put even more performance in one of these products. So, let's take a look at the thinness first. This is that Sony product. Again, one of the best in the field. 1.2 inches down to 0.8 inches. This is the MacBook Air. .76 inches down to an unprecedented 0.16 inches. Now I want to point something out here. The thickest part of the MacBook Air is still thinner than the thinnest part of the TZ series. Okay? We're talking thin here. So, it's so thin, it even fits inside one of these envelopes that we've all seen floating around the office. And so let me go ahead and show it to you now. This is it. Let me take it out here.